au support des usagers de drogue. Le fait que les usagers de drogue soient représentés en association n'aurait sans doute pas pu exister si au niveau mondial il n'y avait pas eu une grosse organisation de réduction des risques qui a promu ce concept et qui l'a protégé au fil de ces conférences.
Amsterdam and Marseille have a very long drug history, and both of them have been at the cradle of pragmatic innovations that started harm reduction. I remember Amsterdam in the, let's say, 1980s, early 1980s. The city of Amsterdam had 10,000 drug users, 30% of them injecting, hundreds of them living in this city center, day in, day out, summer and winter. I remember the main streets in the city area, which had bricked up houses, bricked up shops. I remember policemen on horses with dogs, with batons, sweeping, emptying the street. I remember injectors in hundreds of injectors in all kinds of alleys, behind cars, in boats, in play yards. Overdoses, many overdoses in all kinds of sleazy, dodgy hotels. I remember poisoned heroin that killed nearly 50 drug users in a week time. And on top of that suddenly we heard about a new disease, HIV. And at the first moments of research showed that already at that first moment, 1/3 of all injectors was already infected. But it was also the area of the start of harm reduction in my city and also in my country. And harm reduction did not start with new laws and new regulations. Harm reduction started with civil society organizations, with grassroots organizations, with users, parents, committed health workers, activists. They started the first harm reduction programs. And it were those community-based organizations who started harm reduction services, who were being supported then by the municipal health service, and later on it was endorsed by the local and national authorities. But everything started with the communities. If I look at the situation right now in my country, there are no longer 10,000 drug users, there are around 3,000. And if you look at injecting, now this is one of the most astonishing figures, there's only 4% of all drug users in Amsterdam is currently injecting, 1 on 25. Now injecting has nearly vanished. And the drug users don't live on the streets anymore. They live in shelters. They use their illegal drugs that they buy once in a while from the money that they earned from their income. Most of them have a job right now, and they use it in one of the rooms in the hostel. They've got housing, they've got jobs, and they've got, in fact, quality of life. Drug use is a part of our society and won't be solved, like with a magic stick. It's here and it's here to stay. But harm reduction has been very important in minimizing some of the damage. But there are still lots of things that we can work on. The harm reduction should not only address, let's say, the consequences of drug use, but also the root causes of marginalization of drug users, and that is our counterproductive drug laws and regulations. I think that there's a huge challenge for harm reductionists, people working in health services, to look and link with the movements and the developments in other parts of Europe and in other parts of the world, where people are, where the voice for regulating illicit drugs is growing and growing. The key to the success in my country, in my city, in Marseille and in France is collaboration. Collaboration which has to be initiated like it worked 25 years ago from bottom up. It has to start with grassroots organizations. They did it and they will do it again. So I would like to finish this introduction on the power of grassroots organizations by a quotation from the anthropologist Margaret Mead. And the phrase is, "No doubt a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. It's the only thing that has ever worked."
Il y a un certain nombre de gens en France qui continuent à stigmatiser la Hollande pour sa politique en matière de cannabis, et d'entendre ici nous prouve à quel point tous ces deux sujets sont parfaitement connectés, et que c'est une manière de concevoir l'usage de drogue de façon totalement différente qui permet de faire de la réduction des risques dans le bon sens des termes, et pas de faire de la réduction des risques un outil de contrôle social, comme c'est un peu le cas en France, complètement disconnecté de la question des droits de l'homme.